Welcome to the Undiluted Corner, where truth is our refrain. Relationships, health, and wealth, we're breaking every chain. Grab a seat, join the talk. In this corner, we unite. The Undiluted Corner, where we shed the light in the Undiluted Corner. We explore the three relationships, health and wealth. Set the spirits free, tune and turn up. Let's embark on this ride, the Undiluted Corner, where perspectives coincide. From love to grace to health, we grace and wealth in every form. In the Undiluted Corner, authenticity is the norm. We'll laugh, we'll learn, we'll share it all. In this lively space, join the conversation. Let's make life's journey a thrill and chase. This is the Undiluted Corner. Raw truth, real conversations.
Welcome to the Undiluted Corner. This is the 6th episode on the Undiluted Corner. Your home for raw truth and real conversation.
Yes, sir.
This is your host, Ali, alongside my erudite co-host.
Yeah, blessed one.
On an episode tonight, we have two guests here. We have Robert and we have Keenan.
Yes,
Robert, who are going?
Big up, Alistair, my general.
Big up, Robert.
Keenan, my general, who are going?
Big up college man then from them time there, no?
Blessed man.
Just cool, man, and guess what, boy, and the man, them, I beat you like a slave, you know, cause guess what, no?
Yeah.
At this time, I the only I represent for Gelding Club, you know?
Jesus, you know, look good, you know?
Yeah, man, and we have, you know, represent.
That's why I'm glad we belong with the Irish mash.
Just cool,
So,
man.
what are we going to drink it?
Man, I have to go drink it, you know, I don't know, but would I prefer me first drink it, you know, and make sure so me have the water here, or they are same way.
Yeah. But we have a buckle for Arsenal too. I don't know if them should out there, but them buckle the league, so them fit stand up there, man.
Them buckle the league,
Yeah,
man.
man.
Trust me. So,
That's
Andy,
interesting. Yeah.
and Robert and Keenan, before we bubble up the topic and thing, Andy, tell the people them what them can find.
Yeah, man. So, guys, please check us out on YouTube at the Undiluted Corner. Like, share, subscribe, leave comments, tell a friend to tell a friend, and all them niceness. Yes, I. You can feel free to send us an email as well. That's the Undiluted Corner, the number 7 at gmail.com. That's the Undiluted Corner, the number 7 at gmail.com. And also follow us on Instagram. We are the Undiluted. That's the _undiluted_ corner. That's the _undiluted_ corner.
All right,
Yes,
see
sir.
them, man. So, man, we have a very interesting topic tonight.
Yes, I.
Is Father's Day less celebrated? That is the topic tonight, and
Yeah.
boy, I think we want to kick it off by asking that question to we guess them, cause you don't know me can answer that, you know, and me don't know about you, but me can answer that. So, Robert, what you say? Is Father's Day less celebrated?
Most definitely. Well, it's always been like that. You know, the Women's Day, Mother's Day, and that kind of stuff are just celebrated 10 times more than men. You know, I don't know what's the real reason. I don't understand why they don't think that men are important, because it takes two to do this thing. No matter how you want to be independent and say, well, independent woman, you still need some sperm. You don't produce sperm. So the reality of it is that, you know, as a man, you need to be celebrated equally. I mean, I understand the whole thing. I don't know if I want to delve too far yet, but or I'm going too deep. But you know, I understand that women, you know, beat the child to term and all this kind of stuff. And so there's this thought that, well, you know, they suffer more, which is true. There's a lot more pain and all, you know, all that kind of stuff. And so they feel that the whole, you know, celebration of this thing, you know, should be more pushed to their side, and men are kind of left out in the cold.
Yeah.
In a lot of instances. And I guess down the line through this podcast, we kind of can touch on some other topics, because I believe that this is something that's stemming back to childhood with boys. It goes right back. We're not men, boys. We're not. It's a whole thing of tough it out, deal with it on your own, figure it out. we're not that, you can do it on your own. All of this stuff adds up, and they forget that men now we have feelings too. We don't really feel them, we don't really get into them, but we have feelings, we have mental issues, we have all these stuff, and to know that everything is like, mom this, mom that. And as I said, I don't want to get deep because I touch on some subjects where I'm gonna say,
man. So, think about the conversation to find out if I agree with you or disagree with you.
Go on, Kina.
Well, yeah, man. So I agree. Definitely, it is less celebrated than Mother's Day. Definitely. Um, and I agree to the point with Robbie. But I add a little spin to that because we as people we celebrate what we see and what we know, and in that essence, predominantly young Jamaican males don't know a father. Say, oh, you're gonna celebrate somebody you don't know.
Yeah.
So
Solid point.
yeah, because we celebrate like Easter, Christianity, and those religious stuff. So we know when we see them things. So we see the lady, pregnant lady, she got clinic every month. We see she take the taxi. So we see mothers bringing the child and bringing them, see them at the PTA. So you're gonna say, and you see them, but you're not seeing much fathers doing the same. And it goes back to the young youths growing up. They don't know a father and what a father in a home looks like, a father in your house. So it'll be difficult to say they want to celebrate fathers, but they don't know how to.
Yeah, that's a good point. We never even think about that still in the alley. Yeah, because most household, when you talk about single parent household, most of the time that's the single parent that is there is the mother. You see me? So again, most times there are no fathers in the household, then hence why I guess the celebration is probably a little bit less. And in a space like Jamaica, where again the father thing, why it's set away, where you don't have much fathers in the homes, then definitely we can see where Mother's Day would kind of have like the edge over the father. Not even edge, because edge make it sound close.
Cool. Yeah.
We see where that can definitely be a thing. Yeah. But you see, just to kind of go back to a point that Robbie mentioned earlier, though. Robbie mentioned, the whole childbearing process, being a little bit more strenuous on the females, which, I mean, I don't know if we kind of want to expand on whether or not we think that's like a strong enough basis why we want to have Mother's Day having like quote unquote more significance than the Father's Day. We kind of want to expand on that a little bit more, Sir Robbie.
All right. Before Akina spoke about something, but I think as both guests that are here, the two of Keenan and I, Keenan, the younger generation and the older generation, what Keenan was talking about is definitely true. Not less fathers in the household at this point in time. In my time, my generation as a young boy, father they bought. A lot more fathers were around. I mean, my father was around when my father was in film and televisions. Funny enough, what I am doing today. So anybody in film and television knows, just like we're doing right now, we're podcasts and we're busy and we're out there doing thing. But when he wasn't doing his job, he was home. So it's there's a difference in the generation. My generation, daddy was there. Couple other things too. Everybody had dinner at 6 o'clock. It was not somebody and I at the Instagram and then bedroom and all that. So it's a whole this goes all over the place. But it was a difference. So Keenan is not wrong, but that's Gen X, that's millennials. For my generation, all of my friends, them father there in the yard. Them father might come in late, maybe from the rum bar, maybe from a little side chick, we don't know. But father was there.
Yeah.
But no, father's in jail, father's dead, father's now claim them child. So as Keenan said, a lot of single parents know. So I would say in the millennials and Gen X, it's a greater experience of what he's talking about as opposed to me. My father was there. All my friends were fathers were there. We know Mr. So and so. We know everybody. So it's a bit of a difference. So then we can back and forth and see and I guess.
And Sir Robert, I guess the reason why you made that point, why I make that point is because even back in those times, you had a lot more fathers in the home, but fathers were still less celebrated.
To be honest with you,
for the Father's Day.
Well, all right, okay, fine. If you put it in that perspective, yes, to be honest with you, it's always been this, everything is focused on a woman. Mm-hmm. To be very honest with you, think about it. Valentine's Day for the woman, birthday for the woman, wedding. What do they say? Her special day, don't it?
Yeah.
You know say this special day of husband and wife, it's her special day. When baby born, them says mommy and baby time. You ever hear them say daddy and baby time? Never.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So in terms of how we are grown, how a man is presented, really is like man supposed to be tough it out and just out there on the outside. You know what I'm saying? Them just on the outside. And you just recognize that there's this presence that is there, that is supposed to be the male figure that you look for correction, and you look for who he's supposed to be, the stern one, and if there's the manly things are done by him, but then that's as far as it goes.
Yeah, which kind of bring me into the next point, because what we find is that I guess a question that I would ask, and I'll probably throw it to Keenan. On that same point, does the role of a man, and by extension the fathers, does that have an impact on how the contribution that is given, or the perceived contribution that is given in the relationship, or from the child's perspective, does that child feel as if the father is contributing less based on the role of the father?
In that aspect, so by definition, how people view fathers is subjective.
Yeah.
A father might provide all the financial needs that a child might want, but that child might lack emotional support. Other support where they might need that can help them development through life. So whereas, say for instance, you have a father, maybe not earning much, but he can offer him time, and to that child, that father be the world to the child. Then you have a next child where the father provide everything under the sun for them, buy them GameCube, PlayStation, everything, but there may be some resentment for that father because he's never available. So as a man and father in society, it's rough on us, and it's something that society taught us to accept, that sometimes donkey say we're on a level, but you just have to roll with the punches.
Yeah.
True. Very true.
So it's just basically it's gonna be less celebration for fathers, because one, we don't talk about it to say, we are to say, well, so we never like that gift there, we don't want that. We're not gonna be fussy. We're just gonna say, okay, all right.
Yeah, just work with it. Yeah, and I mean, if we kind of build upon even what Robbie's mentioned earlier, you see, as the man in the household, the provider and the protector, a lot of the providing and the protecting, oftentimes it's not seen, because as the man know, you are the provider, you provide and you give the mother, right? And the mother go out, she do the grocery shopping, she get the youth them, whatever the youth them need and all of that. In the youth, in that child's eyes, it would appear that is the mother doing everything. You get what I say? So there's now more love start pouring to mommy, because a mommy she go, you look at daughter, go to the supermarket with or a mommy always a buy her liquid dolly. But at the end of the day, the money to do all of that came from the father, or majority of that money came from the father, which again is actively playing his role as a man, because again, as a man, you're there to provide and protect. But if we just come back to the first episode we did, Ali, when we looked at the roles of men and women, in the relationship, we touched on the fact that even though the main role of the man is to provide and protect, under those we still have the other little stuff like the nurturing and the caring, all of them stuff where the woman would be expected to do. The man still need to do them. So to kind of piggyback on a point that Keenan made earlier, we still have to make sure we are maintaining emotional intelligence. We have to make sure we are doing the nurturing and all of them niceness. It's not just provide and protect, full stop. You get me? And I think that there's the disconnect there, because as man we are provide and protect, that's it. But it can't continue that way there, because again, who's supposed to really see the love coming through now see it, because them no value. It's not really value money like that, them value the time. You get me?
Yep.
You give them the bag of money, where them are go, them can't do nothing with money. But you give them the time, you bring things to them or whatever, them value that more. You get me?
So let me add to it, because Ravi made the point. Based on how he grew up, I grew up with the same father like structure. Like my father, he was a old-time police, so them strict, and so I grew up with that nature to say. My father was that emotional person, but I never get hungry. I always have a roof over my head, clothes from my back. So like emotional wise, I didn't get that, but it's not like I resented him for it. And just like I said, my father would give my mother the money to buy the stuff and groceries and stuff. But by the end of the day, if me sit down and me not eat the food, my mother would say, you better not waste your father money.
Yeah.
So it's a two-way street. So the fathers and the mothers. So if the mother is not reaffirming the role,
The role of the father.
right? So
Right.
even though he's providing financial, the mother should reiterate and say, well, your father provided this, so you need to be appreciative of that and show it. So it's like that's an in instances like that, as fathers, we're not gonna complain and say, the most we're gonna say, don't waste the money. And that's it. But the mother will drill it to the mama will drill it to man and say, you better not. I like that.
Yeah, that's a good point, Keenan. Solid point, brother. You want to add anything to that, Sir Robbie, before we move on?
No, man, that's good. That's good, man. I think he make a good point, but how could I put it? I think men are expected to go along a particular line. You tough it out. You just do. You're just expected to just do and just be there, and you're just forgotten. So it's a father, and it's a hidden thing. I think it's like, I think it might come down to one of the other questions that you might ask down the line. So I don't want to step in it too much, but it's a sensitive topic that I don't think will ever change. Men are just men, and them just there to provide, or whether it is security wise or financially, and woman is everything else.
Yeah.
With us there.
Sugar and spice and everything.
Everything.
What I'm saying? It's sad, but that's just the way how it is.
Yeah.
All right, shoot Andy.
All right. So what I would probably want for you guys to, and we'll probably ask Sir Robbie first.
Yeah, man.
Just kind of give us, your personal experience with the whole Father's Day. What are the type of gifts you would get if it's something where you look forward to, how your youth or your youth them deal with you. Just give you a whole rundown as to how the Father's Day look for you more time. Or if it's something you look forward to.
Have to laugh at that one.
Solid piece of question, man.
Listen, I celebrate father. I look in the mirror and say Happy Father's Day, man. Right?
Why?
I mean, my son does it. You know, he say Happy Father's Day like about 5 o'clock in the afternoon.
You can't encourage me to get off other girl in shop.
No, man, no, man, no, man. But seriously, it's just you know, it's just not done. Where you hear Happy Mother's Day and then playing music and all that, you just don't see a lot from men. And for me personally, it was never that. I mean, I think the only other person that tell me Happy Father's Day, I'm my brethren them. Man, I say, yo, Happy Father's Day, Bob. Me not get that from nobody else. We not get a bunch of people. I come and I say, yo, you know, this is a good day as a father. You're holding a. No, them not say nothing to you, brother.
Yeah.
Them not say nothing to you. You just a guy out there. As I've heard some women say, you just a piece of hanging meat, and that's about.
Damn.
No, but you have to be straight. Not all the things.
Rough term, that you know.
No, but that's pretty
Just
much
a
it is.
piece of
It's sad,
hanging
but
meat.
it's true.
Yeah,
You know,
and that we come to talk about, sir.
Yeah, the raw
You
truth.
need the raw truth, man. So,
yeah, man, me not get nothing. Me not get no card. I mean, I'm not expecting flowers and all that type of stuff. But I mean, nothing. You don't say, oh, happy Father's Day. Big up yourself. Yeah, man.
yeah, big up yourself.
Move on. You know what I'm saying? You know, there's nothing about it. You know, nobody will come to you and say, boy, that you know, look at you. I mean, my son. All right, I'm not talking about myself personally, because my son will come and say, boy, dad, you know, I don't think he listens to me, but he does. So I say, boy, dad, I'm inspired by what you do. I watch you and see what you do and stuff like that, and I love you as a dad.
Okay.
That's enough for me. Me don't need no whole bunch of people that come and tell me all kind of Happy Father's Day and all kind of stuff. But the truth is, nobody don't do it.
So that is sufficient for you, Sir Robbie? When you hear that from him, that's sufficient for you?
Who else been in? Then no my son, no my father him. Me no father everybody else in the world. So you know what everybody else think.
Yeah. I'm asking for a particular reason, you know, but I'm not going to tell you as yet still.
As long as my child can say to me, say, Dad, you inspire me. Happy Father's Day or happy birthday every once in a while. Because he's a boy. So you know, I'm gonna really bring out that much. I'm say, boy, Dad, I love you, you know. You see that day him come. Yeah, it was my birthday. I'm gonna see him come, wake up in the morning. I'm gonna see him have him arms outstretched. I say, what you do? I don't know what you do. Where you have your arm them wide open.
Yeah.
You know, and then him hug me and say, boy, Dad, I love you, you know.
Yeah,
man.
And him leave, I'm gonna say, right, you know, say, he never do that before, you know. So, you know, as again, men are not made to express, men are not expected to be in that position. We're just supposed to big bag and tough like some old dinosaur, you know.
Yeah.
And
No emotions.
Yeah, no emotions. That has to change. That's something we have to put out there. It has to change. What is it? Men's Health Day or Men's World Health Day or something like that. Then all of a sudden, about 2-3 years ago, then decided to bring in something to talk about men and have mental issues and men hurt too. Oh, you can cry. Like something. Wow, we just come on the earth. We there earth long time. We there on the earth long time, brother. And you just know you recognize it. We have feelings too.
Yeah.
Come on.
I mean, better late than never, right?
You know what my answer upon that? It take me upon that earth at 55 years. I take 52 years to figure that out.
Yeah.
Come on, man. And men have been on this earth from before Christ. Stop it.
Easy.
None of that. BC.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, no, Father, you come to about fathers and men that don't let me get off on this program.
So, what are the cousins, Sir Robbie?
No, man, don't get no wild. Me just look after. We are human beings too.
Yeah, man. Agreed. And Keenan, from your side?
Well, my side kind of more, what do you call it? More fruitful. So like, yeah, being a father. So eldest son is 6. So the 6 years, I get stuff, and I get well wishes. I get cards from friends and family. Especially, well, my wife, she's one of those people who like the extravagant stuff. So I would get something. And my son, the school would prepare something, and I get my experience with it's good, but it's not like I look out for it. I don't go and say, boy, when I get not the Father's Day and I'm like, no. nothing
yeah.
like that. So it's like it's more of appreciating what they do. So the first I can what one thing I can't forget my first Father's Day gift. It was a onesie, and my son fingerprint and palm print was on it.
Okay,
And
okay.
up to this day, I still have that onesie.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, I see
So,
you.
so it doesn't matter if they get me a Rolex or if they get a card with them fingerprint, I appreciate it. And it's something that they I get each year, but it's not like I look out for it. So I think for me, it's good. And on the flip side, for my father though, so it's like it it it's not the same reciprocation because if I go to my father and say that the way my father is, he says, I'm a good man, I don't want none."
Yeah, yeah.
Because
Because of expectations, because of culture now.
not necessarily, it's just because as I said, in those times, as Robbie would have mentioned, you're not taught to show certain feelings and emotions. So I'm go down and say, you don't need to send me this that. But if I ask my mother will tell me she wants something specific.
Yeah.
But if I
Which
ask my father, he will say, you're good man, you don't have to get me now. But I will still try to get him something regardless.
yeah, yeah. You know, same would appreciate it anyways. Which is even the point when I asked Robbie the question a while ago where me say, if what your son do for you, if it's sufficient, and you mentioned say it good enough. Me, I wonder if that's probably the reason why, as men, because we not necessarily fuss it, why it no really need to be celebrated like the Mother's Day. Because from Mother's Day I come up, my mother remind me, me no need nobody to tell me nothing. Me no need no reminder from nobody because mother tell me from 2 weeks in advance. So me know say she have to get something. And if the day come and she not get nothing and nice in the place. You get what me I say, but we as men now, we don't get nothing. We get a couple words of encouragement. We're good with that. So I guess
Yeah,
on that basis there, it is again because the father them not so fussy and so what I mean, we're more laid back. I guess it would appear to be more celebrated. The Mother's Day will be more, celebrated than the Father's Day.
yeah, because yeah, see, I remember giving my father a gift. It was a tracksuit because him like first run. So me get him a tracksuit and one of the sneakers them. That was like a couple years ago. And him still have it running it. So me know say it appreciated
Yeah, yeah.
just the effort you put out. So
So Robbie, we have you on mute here. I'm not sure what happened.
Oh, yeah. Oh, right. My apologies. But okay, so yeah, man, I've been hearing everything. Listen, let me just go through real fast how this thing go. From a child till we reach adulthood, we are programmed this way. Boys don't cry. Figure it out for yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Pick yourself up, brush yourself off, move on. Don't be soft. Figure out everything for yourself. That is how every single man, whether my generation or Keenan generation, any of your generation, that is how we are brought up.
Mm-hmm.
And that goes right into fatherhood. So as Keenan will say, I've mentioned too, and you have mentioned, and Alistair, is that the emotions are not there. Because this is something that is ingrained in us from childbirth. To be tough, suck it up, deal with it yourself, figure it out, and that tradition goes on and on and on and on. Now they are trying, as I said when I mentioned this whole World Men Day and mental health and men's mental health and all this rubbish that they want to come bring right now all of a sudden, right? They're trying to make up for all of those last years. It can't change. You would have to go back. You have to go back to dinosaur time and change that whole DNA structure.
Time machine.
That whole train of thought would have to go way back there. It will never change. So as far as it is, men are the hunters, women are the gatherers, right?
Yeah.
Right? And so, in short, translated into men are tough and women are soft, are the thing. The children stick to the women and the men go out in there and just provide and hand it off to the woman, as Keenan said, and she deal with the thing. Parents
Yeah.
look up in terms of nurturing, in terms of sustenance, in terms of protection, within the household, or cave, whether in back in the day, or a household, or a 3-story house, whatever you have now, whichever one is between. That is what it is now. And the man is just always out there. The man is always on the outside. The man is just a symbol that is out there, that is actually slowly being forgotten. And it's forgotten in this time because a lot of dynamics have changed. And it is a result of all we're talking about. They're in jail. They don't believe in looking after the children. They don't believe in providing levels of financial support, even if them and the mother know nothing.
Yeah.
So it's an important point that you raised, Robbie, because I want to interject, and this might come across as controversial to some people, but we have a lot of family where the father is still contributing financially, but the child lives with the mother. Now, that mother still go out there, and may I talk about me and the generation. I don't know how it going in your generation, sir, Robbie, but the mother still put it out there, say, I'm a single mom, simply because, really and truly, as she go to the supermarket, go get the things for the child, and the child no live with the father, but the child still provide the lunch money and all of those stuff. She positions herself as a single mom, and sometimes based on how the relationship would have ended, she portrayed the father as a bad person to the child, or weaponize the dispute that she had that caused the breakup. She used the child to weaponize that. And I mean, I know me sound kind of long-winded, but may I put it across to you and Keenan? Do you think that impact how Father's Day is treated, or how fathers are perceived? Anyone else can take it.
Go on, Keenan. I'm going to take, but your thoughts, Keenan.
So instances like this, yes, I remember like a couple of my friends them in situations like this where they would get the funding, but the mother would insist that she's a single parent. Having kids and seeing the level of work that is needed to bring them up, to raise them, and to teach them, and to love them. It really is daunting for one person. So while I can accept where a single mother might use the term of being single, but they're getting funding, because financial support is not the only support.
I agree, but may I have to stick up in there, Keith.
No, I continue. So, but whereas as a father, you're providing financial support, you have a duty to that child, to communicate to that child and tell them and teach them and let them know what is going on in the relationship between the mother and him. So people tend to think that child don't know, or big people argument is not fair, but they're smart.
Yeah, I agree.
Child children know are smarter now than before. So it to communicate to a child, to let them know the situation. You might not go into the nitty-gritty details, but as a father, you come and say, son, I provide this for you each time. I might not be able to go to the PTA meeting this week, this month, next month, but I will do this for you, and I'll try my best. And because of that, it might not be shown from the side of your mom, but where I'm coming from is a point of providing for you financially, and also I can give you love, but you know that based on maybe my nature of the job or whatever, I might not be there every time. And that I think that child would understand and appreciate the communication between the
Yes, you're
father.
on good ground, Skin, and I really wanted to interject to say though that I mean I think I think though it is better put if you say, well, you know, I am doing most of the heavy lifting as the mother, but to say you're outright a single parent, to say you're outright a single parent when I mean people, I mean like, you know, people show love in different way. Maybe in the father mind, you know, he might believe that boy by working in the snow, shoveling up the snow, he's doing his best, you know. That in his mind, you know. But the child needs more from him, you know. But instead of going down the road to say, well, this would be you can add more value if you spend more time with the child and, you know, teach the child some things. Teach the child a skill. Turn up at the sports day. You know, turn up at the class consultation meetings, all of that. These things add value. You know, that should be encouraged and we must encourage. But to just go out on the limb and say, boy, because I may spend the money on you, but me not earn it. I'm a single mom. I mean, it is conflicting. It is disingenuous in raw terms.
Yeah, I guess sometimes it's a cycle where you take
And I think
on
it's
rather
sometimes
than-
it is something that some women see it as a fashion thing. To
Yeah,
say
yeah.
I'm a single mom.
Yeah, you
Because
just
in
take
my
on
eyes,
something.
a single mom is a mom who you really and truly the father not even a does zilch.
You know, everything you're saying a while ago is actually my experience.
Mm-hmm.
You know, my I was separated from my wife. My son took my son all the way to country. Prior to all of that, you know, I'm always providing, still was providing. You know, I sent every month X amount of money. Well, you know, whether it was for baby food, you know, or nappy and all that kind of stuff. In the beginning, it was rough. You know, even though she's this whole single parent, I'm a single parent. No, I'm not married. You know, I'm no longer, you know, married. I'm separated / divorced and all this kind of stuff. You know, she made it seem as if, you know, to him that, you know, she was providing. However, I will have to say, in the initial stages, I guess this is when she was super angry because I'm one of those unique cases. And when I say unique, I'm unique because when I tell people that myself and my ex-wife are like brethren, no, it's not. It was never always that.
Yeah.
It was just realization that our time over. All of this is now for the child.
Yeah,
Yes.
If I am providing, don't make it a war. Don't make it like, you know, like a point system, you know. Oh, you know, daddy gave you a toy, but I gave you pants, clothes, and a room.
Yeah.
Live. You know, no. Listen, we provide, and I think I can say I have my regrets, and I want to put it out there because Keenan mentioned it too. Is that I provided every single moment of the day, and Alistair will know I still do it. We're not getting driver's license yet. I'm learn, I'm almost done. But
Sometimes we can't do our work.
yeah, take care of the work. And I'm thinking, boy, I look after something, I spoil it. No, I'm not. But I'm telling you, or maybe I am, and I'm going to tell you why. What Keenan was saying, I provided financial all the way, right? But I had a phone call relationship with my son, or WhatsApp relationship, because he's in country, I'm here. I was working, and in my mind, and this is a lot of men, I'm working. Me I bust myself hard. I take the boss beating, everybody beating, supervisor beating.
And you feel good because you said this is for your youth.
Before my youth. And they think it's enough. Kenny is right. It is not enough.
True.
And I did that, was doing that. And then I'd call my son and say, oh, you all right? You good? And I say, yes, dad. You say, you have anything to talk about? I'm going to say, not today. All right, cool. But then he lives with me, you know, and he have a million questions to ask me. You understand? And it's then when I realized that yes, I was being a man or being a father to him, but I wasn't doing enough. So this would be why, Alistair, you guys tease me. I am trying, it will never happen, it can never happen, but I am trying to make up
And I make up, yeah.
those things by giving him that time and attention. But guess what? He means in him 20s now. You know, once I say, we're in a room.
Yeah.
He might give me looks and I say, oh, that wham.
Yeah, man.
You understand? But the beautiful thing, and I'm grateful for it, is that even though, and I'm sorry to take up too much of the time, but
No, man,
You're good, man.
even
Well,
though
no,
it was one of those situations, again, I'm going to say that I'm very fortunate, as I said, that his mother has recognized that it don't make sense worrying about it because it's one child, and just work together as
Don't
best.
weaponize the child. Don't
Don't
use it.
weaponize. All right. Don't weaponize the child. Let us work together for his good. For him to be better with his wife, girlfriend, or whatever, and his child down in the future.
Yeah, man.
We should set an example, even though we went through a lot of crap. Set the example, right? And also, you know, and I'm sorry, I look like I lost my train of thought, but basically, all fathers out there is the providing is a part of it. That's just a small part of it. You need to have and provide emotional support to that child. That child has questions that the mother cannot answer. That child has things that they want to talk to daddy that they cannot talk to mommy about. And they especially boys, and they internalize and they stuff them angry about and stuff them upset about, and they have nobody to relate to, which goes back to what I said from the beginning. Boys have no chance and no luck with anything, because from a little bit till them grow up, they have to figure shit.
Yeah, man. You're good, man. You're good, man. Have to figure out, man.
Undiluted.
So be a father by spending some time care. Me carry my son out for a beer. Imagine that me carry my son out for a beer.
Yeah.
How my mother not this, because when me the young and me the little 1 and 3 and 4-year-old is as Jamaican parent, me give him a little beer for drink. You see, man?
Yeah.
Me give my Heineken and I feed my Heineken that, and me about a Heineken and him a whole Heineken. My 3 and 4 years old, you know, the whole child services don't come after me. The reason why there are so many bars in Jamaica. I always give you a little pit and a little taste of the liquor. But gentlemen, Keenan, I know you're doing a good job, but those people who are listening, all those podcast viewers of this show, spend some time with your child. Now, you can't make it back up. You might think here, but there's a lot of things that you miss.
Solid point, sir.
All right.
Solid point, sir.
Yeah, man. I want to bring in another. We have a few minutes left. We have about 7 to 8 minutes left, and boy, I really want to get out some things quick and fast.
Yeah, man.
So, I want to show with this question. So in the situation where you have the blended family, yes, where you have the mother, child, stepfather, but the child biological father is still contributing. Sometimes you have the situation where the father is doing his best, but in order to make Herman feel like he's the G, I mean, the woman put it on the child, say, boy, so the stepfather buy the bicycle for the child. So the stepfather, great. And the mother drives home everything to the child that the stepfather is the one that bought the bicycle. But the father basically, him couldn't afford the bicycle, him buy something smaller. But because him buy something smaller, the mother now drill it in the child that the father is not doing such a good job, but Uncle Tom is doing a better job. Do you think that some of those things kind of depreciate the whole celebration of fathers?
Me lay it out this way. That is a wicked woman. That is a wicked woman.
Things are going on,
No, you're right. They do a lot. And I'll have to say again, just like I said before, my son's mother didn't do that. Yes, she had boyfriend or husband and all them thing, and she got married again and all them kind of something there, and all them kind of stuff. I'm still the best husband she ever have. But she never did that. she always made sure, whether it was a little bit or a whole lot, that your father did this. And she tried to understand. Yes, there was some bickering, and I'm gonna lie, when I go around the corner and pretend like it was all roses. Because sometimes it just come up sharp.
Not always on to the right.
Right? But she never did do that. But a lot of women do that, and it's something that needs to stop. Because it sets up an impression in the child's mind, male or female, that the father, Papa, is worthless. And that is just not good. Whether it should be viewed as long as the father took the time to provide as best as he possibly could in that moment.
Yes, in that moment.
Right? Your father is important.
Should be appreciated.
So because the stepfather is more wealthy, the father is not.
And in the case that you have a stepfather, sorry, Keenan, if you have a stepfather, man, as a stepfather and on the stepfather side, unless me don't know you try win over or something like that, that stepfather should, and I have fought again, me lucky, me tell people all the time, everybody shake them and said, no sir, that your thing different. Me never have a problem with none of the stepfather when we go to have a pound fist and say, yo, where I go and bridge and all kind of stuff. That's what I'm saying. Me lucky. I'm very lucky because most of the man like I say, yeah, I mean in the yard now, you know. Yeah. So it's a war and a fight. It should never happen because the child, like a sponge, absorb all of that, and then they grow up and do the same thing. Repeat the process over and over again. So you must push positivity as best as you can, whether you're together or you're separate. Man, on both male and female side of this whole parenting thing to the child, because that is the impression that they go out in the world and do. Go ahead, Keenan.
Keenan, your time for DJ, my boss.
Give me mic. So, add to the Alistair question.
Yes.
It's kind of interesting because I know a situation, something similar. And what I really want to drive home is the communication aspect. Where we as men, we lack or we need to improve on. So in regards to communication, even if I think that mother is a wicked person or whatever, if that father who is maybe not well off, don't show or echo the sentiments to that child to say, I am here. I will always be here for you. I might can't give you the world, but I'll be here. And I type back to the scenario what you gave. I need something like that where a child, same child, stepfather, buy them lavish stuff, buy them an action figure 1 year. And they read with biological father, make a box truck.
Yeah.
And the child play with that box truck till it mash up and never touch the stepfather action figure. Because he valued what his father did for him more than what the stepfather could have faced. So I think in regards to easy if that mother try to turn that child. There is, as I said, biology that draws a son and a father together. So biologically there's going to be some ties. So it's just for that father to echo home that communicate with that child. Say, I can't give you $1 billion or $1 billion, $1 trillion, but I can give you something that I can give my time, my support, and when I can provide something to you.
And the mother should, and me I go be bold enough. So both the mother and the stepfather should also reaffirm this as well.
Yeah.
But even if them trying that bond
without
with that
the father
child,
doing it, I get the man. Without the father being there communicating it, it now go work.
True.
Me respect that, Keenan.
right.
And I mean, just to kind of close, just to kind of wrap up this conversation, Ali. I'm gonna throw out a question to you guys again. The imbalance that is there between the Mother's Day celebration and the Father's Day celebration, is that something where we think we need to change, or it is okay
good as it is?
Yeah, as it is.
I think it's changing because for me where I work, been at the institution 7 years, and before I became a father, there wasn't much being done. Since I became a father, they started doing some Father's Day treats and stuff like that, taking out fathers for that. So imbalance is being addressed. Minimal improvement, but some improvement. So in regards to even not just directly linked to Father's Day, but having a father in the home. Say because for me, my child is transitioning from the basic to the primary level. And to get into one of the primary schools, one of the questions I've seen on several applications is the father present? Where's the father? Give the father a name, give the father occupation. Things that is not on a birth certificate, they need information about that father. And what I tend to realize is that nuclear families tend to these primary and prep schools tend to gravitate towards children who are in nuclear families. And what I realize is there's an article that indicates that children are predominantly boys from a strong male figure, a strong father background, don't have much behavioral issues as opposed to a single parent.
Yeah.
There's even statistics.
Right, so schools now. So I experienced that. I'm trying to get my son into a school, and what they ask is that, where's the father? Who's the father? What the father do? We need him application. We need wearing work number, everything for that father. And you realize when we were going to school, that wasn't being asked like that. It was just be show a birth certificate.
The name of the father if the father present, but we don't need to know him workplace, nothing.
Right, but no, it's different. They need that information for the fathers. So I think it's being addressed. It's minimal improvements, but it's some improvement.
I agree with Keenan. They're trying to make a change. See, they've also added paternal leave.
And I benefited from that, so yeah.
Good, that's good.
For my second child, I got paternity leave. Yeah.
Wonder if we can benefit from it next year.
Yeah,
one way we can try no more.
you have Irish mass right there, so drink it after. But yeah, I agree with Keenan. There's a bit of a change. I'm a little optimistic that it will get any better than that though. I think it's a very loose attempt to bring this whole point across that men exist too. It will never change. It will never be equal. This is just my opinion. It'll never be equal.
Yeah.
It'll never be a situation that Father's Day will be celebrated as equally as Mother's Day across the world, and not just talking Jamaica in general. Yes, it will be a little, but it has been, and it will be a little more recognized. But the balance that we'd want, that fathers are as equal or are important. So do you agree, of course, because the minute you put this up, and everybody knows that. You put it up, I want to get about whether you never carried a baby for 9 months, so you know nothing.
Yeah.
Right? But I as I said, it will never get to that. It'll never get to that thing. And I always tell, when these arguments come up with women, I say, listen, 100 women in a town and one man, they can create a community.
Yeah.
Right?
Yep.
But 100 men and one woman. Oh, that
You're not going to create a community.
create a community. But believe me, only us men will appreciate that, because it will never be appreciated from the other side. And that is just a plain as truth. So take what we can get. Let's take what we can get, brother. Appreciate it. As Keenan said, and you said, and I have said that, stress, men, do better with your children. Show some more interest past just sending financial, bucketive. Talk to them, find out what they are stressed, speak to them. And well, Keenan say, speak to them and tell me that you're providing. But I'm going to be very honest with you. A lot of women program into the child's mind that anything your daddy say a lie.
True.
It's true.
That's true.
Because them did find out, so you tell one lie. To them.
Yeah.
To them.
What's a funny thing about all of that? I mean, I know this is it's not really stretching across it. This is what I'll never understand. And correct me, and I am free to any of you correct me. If the woman and I are separate. You and I, and when I mean you mean a woman and I are separated. But I have my child. I'm sending down for the conversation $10,000 for my child, right?
Yeah.
Why are you spending my money on your things? I'm sending for my child that $10,000.
Keenan, you want to touch that one there?
It's for the child. When
You're the only father there.
there's an impression. No, let me just a little part of it. But there's this impression that I owe them something. So them always take a piece, and then, so the child only gets a percentage. I have experienced, as much as I have accolades for my ex, that's how she did it. And I've seen every other woman that I know or situation that is how it has been. When I send that grant, I want every single dime down to the $5 spent on my child.
Yeah.
You know, for buying no panty or no bra.
Before Keenan chip in, I go play the devils as a girl, as an outsider. I know me can't appreciate what you say, but I go play just a little devil's advocate. What if the woman look for you and say, boy, when you never could afford to send it, me did have to dig a little bit deeper in the money where me have, and me couldn't do certain things for myself. So now that you send a piece of food, me believe say it is fair game for me take out something and probably treat myself or buy one, fix up myself a little bit. Me not say me agree with it, but me just how you respond to that? If we know say as man from time to time the woman would have reach out, but you just can't afford it at that time.
Fine. So say it to me. Say, boy, Robert, well, here what now? Normally you send $10,000. Again, I'm using it as an example. You send $10,000, and last month you only sell 5, right? Me have to take 5 out of my thing and deal with it. But so me take back 5. That me did have to use out of mine because me have something else to do with it.
Yeah, the
entirety. 5 or something. But again, here's my argument. Let me play a devil advocate on top of that. Why is it that I am spending my $10,000? It's only my $10,000 spend. You have to spend $10,000. You're spending. But what happens with a lot of women, is only the pooper money. I deal with the child. All of a sudden, you don't put anything in. So if daddy don't send nothing, so you can't eat nothing.
But again, Robert, she will say, well, you will send this amount of money. But again, you can't say a year money alone to deal with the child because bills the bills have to pay. The child burn video game for weekend from 6 to 10. The child still do certain things. She still have to drop off the child to certain places.
Yeah, but you were doing it in my house.
Certain things. So in that case, she has spent fair money too. Should we say that?
Yeah, but Alyssa, all right. So before she took my child and left, and I'm now not in my personality, or it could be too, but both ways.
Yes.
I was spending money and doing the same thing too. You made a decision to step out of the life and have a child and have the child on your side. Worse that you're not even want to leave him over my yard. You have him over your yard all the time. Your responsibility, that's not my problem. I have sent some money now.
Figure it out.
That's not listen, that is not my problem anymore. It's not my problem anymore. You have stepped out of my relationship and my realm. But there is a child involved. I have sent money to live with my child. You now have to figure out how you operate since you're calling yourself an independent woman and a single mom. You have to operate on your whether I rent, car payment, everything. That is your problem. That is a you problem, not a me problem anymore. What I do just pay something.
Grab piece out before we wrap up, my boss.
Go on, Kino.
Well, this is a very tricky one. Because to me, as I said, kind of subjective in the sense that one, you send the money, right? How do we know as far as that it's not being used for what it is intended? Unless you get them NCBR notification and say, okay, you got a Victoria's Secret and you spend that. Unless they get a notification of how the money is spent, I'm not sure how we can determine what you send is used, is actually used. Because, alright, for give you an example, myself, when taking care of my children, say your budget, your budget for the 10 grand, but that 10 grand burn up real quick, especially for my son. So he might hungry Monday, but enough hungry Tuesday, then in famished Wednesday. So the food done by Thursday, and you need to go again, go back to shopping, you need to go back. And then you have instance might come home with something, maybe him sick, belly run, diaper run out before time, wipes run out
Yeah.
before time. So yeah, we might send the money, but then there are things that we can't account for, like what the child actually do and what actually use during that time before the next money reach. So the
Right?
child might eat, say, as man we are said, my son not eat more than 5 pounds of rice or 5 pounds of chicken. But he might name 6 and 7 just based on how him feel. So if you go, if them go PE and them tired and you have to buy extra soda, even as man, we might say, we might, for me, we can't speak to myself. I'm sure they're gonna get a deal. So if I see a diaper brand, I might not go for that luxury diaper brand, whereas the mother might go for the luxury diaper brand, and she might say, okay, this is leak protected and it goes the diaper rash. But me just want to say, but I'm covered.
Yeah,
So
she more detail oriented.
Yeah.
yeah, so like the money wise, it can be broken down. So as man, we might budget it and say, all right, this supposed to can work. But
Mhm.
women and how they operate. Because I see it with my wife, and we tend to have a look at this again. Like, I say, you don't need that expensive wife there. But I say,
Yeah.
hypoallergenic,
Ways are going out.
scent, and if it's scented, you know, it might irritate the buttock. So you have to realize that, yeah, and knowing myself, you budget for something, child, you can't budget well, for a young child.
Yeah.
So even they might think your standard might be sufficient, sometimes it might not go. Sometimes I'm not saying that you don't have the wicked ones them out there who generally as a 10 grand reach, them gonna where they them gonna put in the ear. That is also a possibility. But I'm just looking for experience that as far as how do we know what we send is actually used?
Well, for me, I made it very clear that I had a detailed account of what was my money was spent on. So, like you said, and in a lot of instances, because all of a sudden she have new hair, all of a sudden she buy some different things and stuff like that. I was opposite of you. I was a Johnson and Johnson baby, and everything. When I went out, before my son born, him had what I call it first year newborn. I went out and bought 2 boxes of Huggies, and then they never fit him. You know I'm where the cheap one that you buy in a Chinaman shop. You understand? I buy expensive, the no more tears and the this and the that, and I went. That's so I'm a kind of the opposite of you. I wasn't wearing nothing is wrong with it, but I was not frugal when it came to that. I wanted my son in the best of the best of the best of the best of the best. So I was about spending all of that money on all things. So I planned in advance. So before my son was born this week, I had about $70,000 or $80,000 worth of goods put on. And I know say if it was a boy or a girl because we didn't want to know. We didn't want to know. We didn't want to know. So we didn't know if it was a boy or a girl. I had girls' clothes, boys' clothes. Me had brush fit girl, me had bobby pin, me have everything. That is how I set it up because I wanted my child to have the best of the best. And some of the things that I experienced as a child, like a Johnson & Johnson. I mean, funny enough, my father took a picture of me with a baby Johnson & Johnson baby powder. And I took a picture of my son with a Johnson & Johnson baby powder to continue the legacy.
Yeah.
But so I understand nothing wrong with what Kino is saying. But it was detailed. You had to have a breakdown detail for me of what you spent the money on. So she would say, well, Robert, about 10 pound of rice or 5 pound of rice, about this, that, and the other. The money done. In that instance, she would say, boy, Chinaman raise up the money. So normally I buy 2 tin a day of the milk. It would buy 1 or 1.5. So I say, all right, how much you make up the 2 or the 3? And I say, all right, buy another tin. And I send another money. Then I think it was like $1,200 for the tin. It gone up way past that now. But it was like $1,200 for the tin. And we say, all right, I'm gonna send another tin, so you should have a tin and a half. So me always calculate about which kilo is right, you cannot calculate.
Yeah, based on how the youth move.
Yeah.
I would eat it. You might eat now 3 and today you just eat 5. That was very true. But I still, regardless, wanted details on where my money spent because me work hard for it. And I want to know that every single thing was going to my child.
Right, yeah.
Yeah, my boss. Well, me not gonna tell no lie. We did schedule for half an hour. But you see true, me know so that topic here is so important.
Yeah.
And Father's Day soon come and we don't know we are encourage the man them who are fathers to improve, do better. And we are encourage also man we are gelding like myself upon
so
and learn.
Oh, yeah, call me out, brother.
And to that effect, you guys shouldn't shell yourself like that, because the term itself, you shouldn't sell yourself in that way, because you need to understand, we play a ball, and you hear it. No, man, I understand, but it's because I have an instance where, say you have men who have children who died young, but because people didn't know or see that child, they might say my girl in, but it's not really like that. So
Free man, it's just a little tongue in cheek.
Yeah,
man.
No, we know.
Yeah, man. So Andy, Keenan, Robert,
Yes,
really
sir.
appreciate the conversation.
Yeah, man.
Lively as usual.
Yeah, man. The man, give thanks to pass through. Much appreciated, man.
Yeah, man.
And Andy, before we leave, tell the people them, remind the people them again which part them can find with.
So, guys, on Instagram, we are the _undiluted _corner. On YouTube, we are the Undiluted Corner. And please feel free to send us an email at the undilutedcorner, the number 7 @gmail.com. Back over to you.
Raw truth, real conversations. Out.
Blessings.
Raw diggity dog.
Blessings, man.
Blessings.
Yeah, man.
Thanks for joining us in the Undiluted Corner, where insights abound and perspectives are born. Relationships, health, and wealth, we've explored them all. Until next time, let's continue to stand tall. Subscribe, share, and keep the conversation alive in the Undiluted Corner, where truth thrive until we meet again. Let's keep our hearts light. The Undiluted Corner, shining ever so bright.